Well, I know a lot of you have been worrying about self-defense, which I think is really important. You know, I want to teach you something. This gentleman here, he's Captain Frank Hawks. He's going to teach you
What's
about
he captain of?
I have no idea. But he's going to teach you about the warrior's ritual. It's not Worf.
Well, I want to know. If you look right away, you're going to start with this warrior ritual, and you're calling yourself captain. I have a right to know what you're a captain of, because you could be a f***ing captain on a commercial fishing ship, which is nothing.
Maybe he's a cruise ship captain.
That's even less than.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see.
The good ship Lollipop made me.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, okay, dude. I've had screensavers before. I know.
It's fucking cool, dude. It's like an eye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
What?
My name
What?
is...
This is the guy. This is Captain.
That was a weird transition.
It's the guy. This is the guy.
Also, how small is that room?
It's very tiny. It's a closet.
Captain Frank Hawks, and we are beginning a new series of videos
about really dry lips. About lips that are really dry. They're chapping. And then I pick at them with my teeth.
You pointed at it.
It's all you can see now, right?
And it's making me,
And then I pick at my dry lips.
It's like when people don't clear their throat. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. It's making me, now I gotta clear my throat and my lips. This guy's a mess.
on the subject matter, and I am shaking the camera pretty well.
Stop!
On the subject matter of...
He looks like unemployment, the person.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't want to fuck with him.
Training.
Here we
He
go.
looks like the kind of guy that's like unemployed, and then he's like, he'll like say to shit like, yeah, I was, you know, whatever. Like I was like, oh, I put in 2 applications today.
Mm-hmm. It's just, he's the one that, yeah, he applies for a job he knows he's not going to get, so you keep getting unemployment when he calls the unemployment office.
Yeah.
Training. Weapons training, specifically. We were going to do a variation for sword, and we're going to do a variation for tomahawk and long knife on the basis.
Because they tell you if you're going to self-defense, you won't always have a gun and a tomahawk on you.
How about just the gun?
Tomahawk.
Listen, if I have a gun on me and you A, manage to get away from me, or B, I unload the whole thing and I don't hit you once, I shouldn't deserve to have a tomahawk backup. Like at that point, you should just win. You should beat me to death with the gun.
And then Tatanka's going to sue you, so that's going to be a whole thing.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to make a terrible cameo video.
Yeah.
Reasonable than that.
So let's see some of these moves in action.
See you in the rest of the video.
Okay.
First of all, the fucking nerve of this guy to have one of those things on his desk that has like the in and out paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, this is my incoming and this is my outgoing. How dare you, sir?
Do you want to see some sick moves?
Okay, so if you hear any noise in the background, I apologize.
I live in a trailer park, so
we're beginning the Warriors ritual.
That is a trailer
This
park,
video
by the way. Can you pause?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's the prefab homes.
Because you can look across the street and it's the same. Like, look at how close that other house is.
Is going to be mostly the beginning and the end, and not a lot of middle. Please understand that I'm still wore out. I did wait a day before I started this entire process. The ritual is the putting together and the taking down of the ropes on the Pell. The Pell is permanently cemented in a bucket.
Home Depot bucket.
The reason why I did not post it in the ground is because, first of all, that
the HOA has rules.
Yeah, and I pay lot rent, actually, so I, like, okay, so the trailer is mine, but then I got to pay, I don't own the land. I'm trying to explain it all.
that would require permission from where I live.
I was kidding.
I mean, we knew the reason.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to wait on permission for anybody.
Also, by the way,
I'm not going to wait on permission for anybody, but he still didn't do it.
Also, you live in a trailer park, so when you go like, also I'd have to ask for permission from my landlord, and like, okay, then ask. The reason he didn't is what he wanted to say was, It is not permanently put in the ground because you need to get permission, and I'm also late on my rent because that's what it is. That's what it is. Because it's like nobody in my apartment complex listens to any rules. There's a couple of people that do follow the rules. Those are the people that are always behind on their rent, and they're like, "Hey, let's try to be good neighbors, right?" Oh, you didn't pay your rent, did you? Everyone else is just these people selling weed, these people blasting music at 2 in the morning. It's like, whatever, I paid my rent, get out of here.
And second of all, I wanted something that I could knock down, that would move, that would react to what I do.
These
And
moves are
that's
going to be
either
sick.
you
Get
hang
ready.
it or you cement it in a bucket. And I actually ended up having a neighbor's friend to do that. So
So wait, Captain Hawks here didn't do it himself?
Yeah, hey, what happened to? Why didn't you subscribe to the warrior spirit and do it yourself? You couldn't put a pole into a bucket full of cement.
Why don't you subscribe to do-it-yourself videos?
Yeah.
the purpose behind the ropes is, first of all, that is
That's all I could find in the bed of my work truck.
1/2-inch manila rope. It's not light. It's not heavy, but it's not light. And it is part of the workout.
Oh, this is the
whole
workout?
Assembling of the pel
This is called Ring Around the Rosie.
is part of the workout.
All right, when is Justin Hawk Bradshaw going to be done pulling his bull rope up on the fucking turnbuckle?
I'm gonna skip ahead from the rope thing. It's a lot of rope. It's a lot of rope, as you can see. All right, here we go. Now we got it. Now we're set. So you have to set the rope, and here we go. I'm gonna skip
The
ahead.
second part of
Perfect.
anatomy on this. Now, using the pel
Jacob
is,
Scott
is
Show
a
says
lot like
this is just light cardio.
Not even, really.
You're right.
It's just a nice day outside
Yeah.
doing a small project.
Yeah.
and I probably just said this. It's a lot like shooting at a paper target.
It's just like
it's not
date
going to
night, but
move.
we're going to be like, wow, this looks really good, but it's not enough tinfoil.
So, can I? I'm okay. Put some. I can't go out in the sun though. He's there with a black umbrella like Wednesday Addams.
And then you tie one of those like little tents.
Yeah.
Like the ones that just go up and around you. And you're like,
What are those little pop tents that go? Yeah, exactly what you're talking about.
Move like a person's going to move. It's not going to think.
Here we go.
But this is the anatomy.
Here we go. You ready?
Head, groin,
Perfect. Here we go. You ready? Let's see.
hydration.
He needs to hydrate.
gotta have some of that Baja Blast. Whatever the fuck he's drinking.
It's not even that. You know how like Walmart has the generic powdered sports drink that you mix? That's what that is.
It's that blue flavor. The thing that literally tastes like blue.
I don't know how, but this tastes like blue. Here we go. Get ready, folks. Hey, I want to just say before we do this, if you have any kids watching the show now, will be a time to get them in a different room because this is brutal.
Here's what I don't get. Like, can't you just get a light? Like, you live in a trailer park. You don't know how to make meth. You couldn't find any kids to, like normal people.
Come on.
Like normal people do at a trailer park.
Here we go. Oh, he's dual wielding.
Setting up range.
That wouldn't be very effective. Like, I'm just saying, if you did that to me, sir, it would hurt. But it would be one of those where you go, ow!
It's vicious.
What are you doing?
This is vicious.
That is a traditional Macklemore,
Macklemore?
drill setup.
Oos.
I don't know why H. John Benjamin's brother's doing this, but it's making me feel awkward.
Dude, I honestly, like, this is giving me flashbacks to when I had to do Master Poe's TV show pilot, and he was doing the knife fighting guys, and it was just...
And
Look
you
at that.
can
Look at
do
that.
it that way.
Look how sick
if
that
you
is.
so see fit. Or you could, there's the Macklemore punches and all of its forms.
That's not doing anything.
Dude, this is pretty cool. You know what it is that Mike isn't... Look, and I get it, Mike. I don't really even blame you. You're not a skilled warrior. Anybody...
You're right. I don't know much about the art of the blade.
Yeah, you don't. You don't know really anything about this, and that's fine. You know, you're not. But what if I'm going to help him out here? I'm going to help him.
I'm waiting to hear somebody walk in the frame and go, "Hey, Bear, you seen the rope from my boat? I ain't seen it nowhere, man. It looked like it went missing." The cops have definitely been to this guy's trailer before.
Constantly
not
checking
many
and tightening
times.
the top and bottom
Many
anatomy
times.
knots.
Like, hey, man, your
You
neighbor's
really
called
are.
again, and are you out there doing, like, knife and axe? Are you simulating a murder in your hand? But look, the neighbors have said it looks like you are pretending to rape and murder a metal pole covered in rope in your backyard. Is this true?
And they walk up and go, "Frank, listen, it's Captain Frank. All right, like, Captain Frank, listen, look, we're getting complaints again, okay? You live across the street from the playground. Kids are getting scared. Can you please stop your karate fights?"
I mean, you think a fucking... I mean, this guy definitely is old school warrior style, though. He's
course.
definitely like one of those, guys that doesn't like to use too much technology. I mean, look at his non-motorized lawnmower behind him. The manual,
Oh my God, I didn't notice that.
lawnmower behind him.
Oh no.
Which is, you want to talk about peak poor people?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Because it's one of those items where the non-motorized lawnmower. Not that that's like, look, I'm all for if you have a small yard and you're like, I'm not buying a fucking lawnmower that costs money or whatever, but like to get the cheapest gas-powered lawnmower isn't that much more expensive than the non-motorized lawnmower. Like, it's not a steep discount. So it's just like, that's when you know somebody's super poor and they spend all their money on meth, when they're like, well, I don't know, honey, because it's $65 for the lawnmower without the power, without the gas power. But the gas-powered one's like $85. So we got to, and then like, just get the regular one.
I call that letting him fall.
And I want to apologize because I made a mistake. I said it was a Home Depot bucket. I am now learning that it's a Lowe's bucket. It is a
Get your
Lowe's
facts
bucket.
right, Mr. Journalist.
I apologize. I love the people having a little conversation. You can hear it overhear it in the back. Go! What the fuck, dude?
I
He's
missed.
not even breaking the rope.
That would work a lot better if it was in the ground and not in a bucket that could fall over.
It would also work a lot better if he was doing anything at all, but he's not doing any. Like, he's not even doing any cool moves or anything.
No.
So what's he doing?
Right now, what he's doing is having the video load. I can't.
We've been cut off
Own
by the
ego.
deep state.
You're going to encounter your own frustration, and there I'm working up the chambers, and just.
All right, so like I'm sure you've seen.
It would
I'm
require
sure,
more force to open up a pistachio shell.
I'm sure you dick. I'm sure you've seen videos of real actual martial artists that like are do really cool with swords. Like, I've seen them. Like, you know, a lot of the people that do like the Hollywood fight scenes are actually real like martial arts guys and whatever. His form, obviously I'm not a martial arts guy. His form is so terrible. He's just like,
yeah, he's just tapping on a pole. Like, it's not like I would understand if you're doing like real martial arts stuff, they will do it slowly and delicately because they're not trying to actually stab things. But like, they actually look cool. This guy doesn't look cool doing anything. He looks like he's doing what you see like a really poor 9 or 10-year-old kid doing. You ever see like a 10-year-old poor kid in a trailer park? Like, they're the kind of kids that would be like, I'm going to tie this rope to this pole and then I'm going to do karate moves to it. But it's like when you see that like kid growing up that had no dad and they didn't learn anything, but so they're trying to wing it and do everything on their own, and it just looks terrible. This guy just stinks.
oh yeah, that's a good point. Want to know says, well, he's formless, meaning you cannot comprehend his form. You know who he was trained by, right? Vox Day.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. So now you want put some
Wow.
respect on his name, please. He's lightly tapping. He's missing half the time.
Working
and
my
he's lightly
ranges,
He's working his
and
ranges.
now I'm
bro.
going to do really up close tomahawk long knife fighting.
You showed that pole. And the thing
Now,
is
there's
like,
gonna be-
isn't the point of this, right? Like, let's say you got this rope wrapped around a pole, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say you weren't a retard. You actually cemented it into the ground because you actually paid your rent. See, again, if you'd paid your rent, sir, and the landlord came and went, you can't just be burying a fucking thing in the... You go, It's literally a hole in the ground the size of a Lowe's bucket. I'll fill in when I move out. I've paid my rent. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And they leave. If you've paid your rent on time, they're like, they don't really fight me about this shit. But if you dug it in the ground and you had this thing set up, why wouldn't you hit it? Why wouldn't you really
go at it? Yeah.
Isn't the whole point of a boxing, for instance, when you go to a boxing gym or you have a punching bag, the whole I know some people use it as a workout, but the point of a punching bag, the original point, is to practice your punches so that you can punch once, punch to you go, okay, that one was weak. Okay, that one I didn't stiffen up the arm enough. The whole point of a punching bag is to practice getting good at punching, and this fucking dude just isn't even putting any force into it.
Chris Radzino says he couldn't have been trained by Fox Day. Sorry, he's a point warrior.
Oh, that's true.
He's a point warrior. This isn't a real warrior.
Also, Filipino Shea is asking nicely. He said, Royce, could you just play this at normal speed? Clearly, this guy is blindingly fast.
Oh,
See,
know what?
That's the problem. You were playing it at
I'm going to slow it down.
You're
right. I'm going to slow it down for you, everybody.
Be a lot of
There we go.
affect your survival.
You can actually maybe see
in
what
the
he's doing.
wilderness.
Let's see how this looks and slow up.
And that can be used.
By the way, you know what else is great about how badass form is? Let's say I'm in my house, right, and I can't get to a gun or something, and there's like an axe next to me, and somebody breaks in, right? He's doing that thing where he keeps leading, he keeps indicating,
winding up.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna literally, he's going to block that shit. He's literally going, and you're going, you'd be dead. You would be dead.
Just.
For a variety of things.
This is what he really sounds like.
Including defending your life.
You know what would probably
By the way, a really great Albert Brooks film.
You know what would happen if this guy was coming at you, and I have a real good way to stop him. So this is coming at you. You know what I would do? Shoot him with a gun.
That's a good one. You know what I would do? Call the police. He lives in a trailer park. He clearly has warrants. I bet you he has warrants he doesn't even know about. He's that guy. This is the guy that's been at a bar before, and he wasn't even in the fight.
Yep.
But the cops start running names, and they're like, you, come with us. And he's like, oh, come on, man. I paid that ticket. And you know what it is? This guy has a warrant out for his arrest right now, and you know what it is? It's for, illegal dumping. You know what I mean? It's not even like did he rob somebody or diddle a kid? No, he's one of those guys that probably got caught. He kept dumping old washing machines and dryers in the same public park area, and the cops kept telling him, look, man, we're going to charge you. He probably has a warrant out for felony dumping, improper dumping.
And it's really hard to get a felony dumping. It has to be like a tires and a refrigerator.
It has to be either really bad for the environment, or I've seen it in Tampa too, where you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And because I've seen some guys get felony because they own a junk removal service, and they've been caught so many times doing it that they're like, we have to make it a felony now. You're clearly not getting the message.